About
Well,
introducing that
before we
worked.
go to the list, I think it's worth just a moment to talk about this idea of value. When people talk about splitting in Agile, they always want to say split it up so you deliver something of value each sprint. Now, we have a feature, and this feature is going to take, everyone agrees, this is a big, epic thing, and it's going to take multiple sprints to actually complete. How do we break it into value? So, one of the questions is going to say, well, let's look how we define value here. Is the feature in and of itself valuable? And here's where a lot of people, myself included, will argue that features inherently by themselves are not valuable. Features are features. Features have to be strung together with other features to do something of value. No feature typically delivers value by itself. A spell checker is no good unless I can type into the document. It's checking spelling that I can't even add to the document does absolutely no value, though spell checker is a feature. I have to be able to type it in, look at the spelling error, get it corrected, and then move on and improve it. So there's a whole bunch of stringing together. So one of the things we have to look about when we talk about splitting apart, and then we want to deliver value each sprint, is how we think about value. And I think, Jenny, you have a contrary different opinion of that or something different.
No, I'm totally with you on looking for value. I maybe we quibble on. I believe you can define a feature to deliver value, but that's probably what I think of as beer and philosophy discussions, right? We're basically in the same area. Yeah, Mark would be happy to join us for beer and philosophy, right? I think we're in the general direction. We probably have slightly different perspectives, but I'm all about, right, the last thing you want to do is take something big and say, well, let's decompose it into the database layer and then into the middle tier or the API layer and then into the UI layer, right? At that point it's like, whoa, back it up. We got to go back to the start. We got to figure out a way to slice this where there's something simple. Probably no user is going to jump up and down at the end of your first sprint and go, oh, wow, I can't believe everything you delivered, right? The first one's probably going to be like, oh, great, I can kind of see this is going to turn into a report, and I see there's a field here, but we got the data out of the database. We've transported it all the way up to the interface. It's actually showing in the interface. So it's working. It's a step towards value. It's not terribly exciting.
Right. And I was gonna jump on that because I have sort of in my agile world, I think about two levels of value in a sense. One I call my berry level. Berry stands for beginning and reason for interaction. That's why someone's actually using the solution that you're building. If I'm building a cash machine, withdrawal money is a berry. That's why someone wants to use my cash machine. They're not coming up here and saying, oh, what a pretty cash machine. They want to do something with it. They're going to look at it and go, I want to withdraw money, right? That's a berry. Now, berries have lots of different ways I can withdraw money. I can withdraw it from checking. I can withdraw it from savings. There's various pathways I can get to do to solve that berry. And then there's steps in that berry. And sometimes, as Jenny was just sort of hinting, all I can complete in a sprint is a step. That is, oh, I can access my checking account and see how much is in there for me to withdraw. That's all I can do on this step. It's not the berry. I haven't gotten the real value that the customers come for because they didn't come here just to look at the account amount and go, well, that's nice. I can't get to it because they never built that. No, they want to withdraw the money. That's why they came to the cash machine. I haven't gotten there yet, but I've got, and this is where we have to start looking at value weird. So I'm like, I got the smidge a little tiny little bit of value, right? That I can see the account. And you have to kind of squint hard and say, yeah, that's valuable. And so that's one thing that switched from the 1 month sprints in Scrum down to the 2 weeks is that in 1 month, I might be able to withdraw some money from checking. But in 2 weeks, I can just get to the account and see that it has money in it and how much options I have, right, in that little period of time.
So I think Earl's getting to two things, right? One is that idea of value is a demonstrable piece that shows me I'm on the way to delivering something larger, right? And so product owners and teams need to be okay, especially in those first couple sprints. You're likely doing the Earl squint at your value, right? It's there, it works. Some people might call it a walking skeleton, right? It doesn't do maybe everything you want. You certainly probably aren't going to release it to a customer, but it's alive, it's wiggling, it's working, and it's showing you that you are on the path to delivering.
But all this comes back to I think it's way easier. If you're saying I'm having a time struggling breaking down my stories, it's often because your idea of value is kind of weird. Your value is stuck, I think, back in feature land. For example, I was working with a company.